We have our Hispanic brothers and sisters. That's our family. You don't see it that way. But your eyes need to be made open, because the Native Americans are original people. When white folk came to America, they call it America, it wasn't uninhabited, was it? Somebody was here. They called them Indians because they're trying to find a new route to India and messed up. So hell, this new people, they must be Indians. Don't call yourself Indian. You're not. You're the original people of our planet. Now you've got our Hispanic family mixed with what is called Indian, African, Caucasian. Go down to Mexico and see the heads of Africans in Mexico, because the root of Mexico is the old civilization, which is an African civilization in the Western Hemisphere. Don't applaud, just think. The enemy comes. He mixes his blood with the indigenous native people and produces different colors. And then he makes some feel we're better than others because our skin is lighter, our hair more curly. Now, the enemy don't have anything for you to do. He lets you go. You don't have a job. But he's bringing our brothers and sisters from Mexico. It isn't that they're just poor. Many of our brothers and sisters from Mexico that are here are poor. And America offers this light, the land of the free, the home of the brave. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Give me, you're tired, you're poor. So the poor see that. Say, well, I'm coming to America. So the brothers and sisters come, but they are being invited by corporate America because they work hard and they work cheaper. And corporate America can use our Latino family to bust up unions and put you out of a job. So you're looking at our Latino family as though that's the enemy. Say, if he wasn't here, he's taking my job. Well, wait a minute, Chief. This is his home. Say, how did America get Texas? How did they get New Mexico? Why is it called New Mexico? Was it once Old Mexico? How did they get Arizona? How did they get California? How did they get parts of Utah and Nevada? And Colorado? That was all Mexico at one time. So it's written that they would lose control of their borders. See, justice demands that what was taken from the brother and sister, they ultimately going to have to get it back. This is the wife of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Mother Tainetta Muhammad. And guess what? Guess what? My Latino family, she was sent by Elijah Muhammad to take her family into Mexico, where her children grew up in Mexico, learning the language, the culture, the history of the people. For what purpose? Because the Latino and the black must unite. We must end the madness. Her son, Rasul, where's Rasul? He left. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He'll be right back. He grew up in Mexico. He speaks the language fluently. Now, here's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, Rasul, who grew up in Mexico. He has a beautiful voice. He plays the piano. He sings all over Mexico. But we got him here preaching. Yes. Say something to our Latino family.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. A nuestros hermanos latinos. Hace unos años que yo estaba aquí en Los Ángeles, un hermano latino me enseñó el significado de la palabra chicano. Me dijo que chiquicía se refiere a niños o children. Cano, the land. And ever since then, desde entonces yo siempre decía que yo también soy chicano. Cuando yo reflejo en mis estudios en México, siempre hacía yo la pregunta de cómo es posible que Hernán Cortés y solamente 500 soldados conquistaron todo el país de México. Y una cosa que siempre, cuando pienso en ello, me doy cuenta que 500 soldados con Hernán Cortés ganaron porque utilizaron la división que ya existía entre los tribus ahí en México. Principalmente cuando llegó Hernán Cortés y los conquistadores a Veracruz, entre Veracruz y Tenochtitlan, estaban los Tlaxcalan, los indígenas Tlaxcalan. Y ellos ya tenían un beef con los aztecas. They capitalized on the beef that the Tlaxcalans had with the Aztecs. And that's how they sacked the country. Esa misma razón no ha cambiado hasta la fecha. Ustedes mismos, como nuestra familia latino, tienen divisiones entre ustedes mismos. Nosotros, tus hermanos morenos, tenemos divisiones entre nosotros. Y hay un enemigo que no quiere ver el avance de ustedes y no quiere ver el avance de nosotros, pero capitalizan la división que existe entre ustedes y la división que existe entre nosotros. Y como esa carta que decía que 1000 morenos van a morir este verano, que ningún hermano latino escribió, pero a consecuencia de aquello, nosotros estamos matando. Clasismo, racismo, sexismo han sido los impedimentos que han prevenido el levantamiento de ambas comunidades. Tenemos que matar ese clasismo. Hay mexicanos en México que tienen vergüenza de ustedes llamado raza aquí. ¿Por qué? Porque el mexicano en México quiere presentarse una imagen que es aceptable al americano, aceptable al europeo. Y por eso, si tú ves Televisa y Univisión desde hace unos 30 años, las imágenes son cada vez más y más claros y menos pareciendo el mexicano verdadero nativo, pero parecen más el europeo. Y hasta la cerveza, la güera superiora. Todas estas cosas van programándote y dividiéndote de tus raíces verdaderos. Cosas en la cultura que veo allá en México, por ejemplo, cuando ves un niño bonito, dice, ve qué niño tan bonito con los ojos azules, ve la niña tan preciosa con el pelo güero. ¿Cuándo vas a escuchar a alguien decir, qué niño tan precioso con el pelo oscuro y con los ojos negros? Son conceptos que van dividiéndonos más y más cada vez. Yo solo quiero que les diga, y yo siempre he dicho a mis amigos en México, por la razón que sea, y yo creo que por la razón de Dios, yo los amo. Soy moreno, claro, pero moreno. Claro y mexicano y latino. Soy tu hermano. Y el resto de mi vida, primero Dios, primero Alá, les voy a demostrar que somos familia. Y no me gustaría permitir ver un día más que nosotros nos estamos matando. Hay muchas fuerzas que tienen y muchos talentos que ambas comunidades tienen. Y cuando unimos esos talentos, podemos conquistar lo que sea. Que viva el pueblo, que viva el mexicano, que viva el chicano, que viva la raza, que viva la familia humana. Gracias.
Now, I don't know what he said. I'm not going to tell any lie. I don't know what he said. But what it says is, I have to learn the language. Even though Spanish is not your language, but you have it now. And if we want to communicate with our people in the Western Hemisphere, we have to learn Spanish, we have to learn French. So let's begin to learn the language. So when we talk to our brothers and sisters, they know that we are familiar with them as they are familiar with us, and we become a family all over again. Mother, would you share a short word with them just to say that she's the one that started all of this? So we save her for last because she's the best.
Bueno, con mucho salud, con mucho amor. Estoy muy, ¿cómo se llama?, agradecido a Dios para esta oportunidad en español y también un poquito en inglés. Que mi esposo, el honorable Elijah Muhammad, le ponga en mi mente desde muy joven, una adulta muy joven, la visión de la unificación de toda nuestra gente, del negro, del indio y del mexicano, del latino, de todas nuestras razas que existen aquí en toda América, que él dice en su visión espiritual que nosotros vamos a unificar con un pueblo, una cultura, una gente unificada en este país, América, que nosotros vamos a reconstruir un nuevo gobierno entre las tres aquí en América. Dar gracias a Dios para su presencia, su valor, su belleza, porque estas palabras van a manifestar en nuestra presencia en unos días más. Por favor, escucha la voz por dentro, la voz del Dios. I said very briefly that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put inside of me his vision for the unification of the black man, the Indian, the Mexican, and all of the people of the Latino family that covers the whole perimeters of America. And that one day, very, very soon, we will see us united and we will establish the base of a new government of peace and righteousness right here in America where we were enslaved. Thank you for listening. May God bless us to live to see. Thank you, Brother Manuel.
Thank you. Now, brothers and sisters, I know you've been here long, but there may be some questions that you wanted to ask. But before we end that, I want you to see the Latino family from Los Angeles that are in the mosque. So some of our brothers think that Islam is just for blacks. Well, where is our Latino family? Come on up. Come on up. Yeah, okay. Now, these are brothers. We will give our life for them, and they for us, and that's the way we have to be as a family. I would hope that today we would pledge to end the bloodshed. October 14th, 15th, and 16th is the celebration of the 10th anniversary of the Million Man March. And we call it the Millions More Movement. We are gathering millions, but millions more because we want the Latino family united the Native American family, the black family. And when we become united, political power, economic power, spiritual power, educational power, we can change the realities of what we suffer. It's all now in our hands.
So do you find that, for example, we're profiling some Latino Muslims here. My parents are both of Cuban origin, for example, and we're finding that the Latino community, there seems to be a common experience of crossing the border into the mosque and being embraced as Muslims, that the ethnic identities are playing into it. Is that one of the reasons maybe that the nation has kept a special space for black people to kind of keep a place where they can feel like they're a member of the community of Islam before they actually move into a mosque where all these ethnic, nationalistic differences might...
Well, first, you must have a root in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We now want our Latino family to come into Islam because Elijah Muhammad taught us that the root of the Mexican or the Latin American, they are part of the original inhabitants of the Western Hemisphere and of our planet. So he taught us that we should find a way to unite with the Native Americans. So we go up on the reservation and we try to teach Islam there. I was in Cuba recently. We brought a book, a box of Qur'ans, and I met with the Muslims in Cuba and gave Qur'ans out to them, Qur'ans in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And I have family in Mexico, and we gave Qur'ans, and they're teaching gradually the Mexican and others the Qur'an. These are people that will come to Islam much faster than the blacks because they have not been as destroyed as the black people have been under chattel slavery. So right now we have Mexicans in the mosque, we have Puerto Ricans in the mosque, we have Haitians in the mosque, we have some Chinese and Japanese in the mosque, and we have some whites that are coming. But what we have to do is make our people feel that you are not an inferior when you meet with other human beings that are not black,
Mm-hmm.
but they are Muslims. So it takes time, but these barriers are gradually being broken down so that right now the La Raza or Mexican community, they have very good relations with the Nation of Islam. And the many Muslims that are in the mosque all over America that are Mexicans. We have some when you went to Miami, there were Cubans
Mm-hmm.
in the masjid there or the mosque there. And Rasul is reaching out to the whole of Central and South America. We have Muslims in Guatemala, Muslims in Honduras, Muslims in Nicaragua, Muslims in Panama, going all the way down. And we believe that it won't be long. This century will be the century for Islam spreading throughout the Western Hemisphere. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Mexican people. And if you go down into Tabasco and Palenque, Chiapas, go into Yucatan, or you ain't even got to go that far south. If you go into Veracruz, or if you go down to Acapulco, some of you been down there. If you look at the Lancheros, if you look at some of the campesinos, I swear on, I'm not lying to you, they got some Mexicans down there that's blacker than anybody in this room. You think you too black, too strong. You can run down there in South Mexico and run up on somebody jet black with seriouser hair, with thick lips and broad noses, talking about, ¿en qué le puedo servir, hermano? And you be like, What's up, G?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. En el nombre de Allah, el benéfico, el misericordioso. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Want to greet our beautiful family here in Chicago and all across the planet, the original family of the planet Earth. I want to greet you in the greeting words of our forefathers in the ancient language of Arabic. Assalamu alaikum. How is everyone feeling? I too am fine and humbled and honored to just have a few moments with you this afternoon to share with you, since we have so many youth, and I'm a young person myself. Hopefully you are too. But I wanted to share with you, especially my young black and so-called Latino brothers and sisters, whether you be a black man born in Chicago or New York, the descendants of slaves brought across in the hulls of ships from Africa, or whether you be the descendants of our original people of the Western Hemisphere that were in Puerto Rico and in Cuba, that were in North America and in Alaska and in Mexico, into Central and South America. I want to say to us as young people in particular that we must recognize today that we are one family and one people. And I want to echo all praises due to Allah. I want you to know that the man you're going to hear from today, though he's a black man born from among you, as a leader and a gift from God for you, he's our gift too. Because as we came naturally from you as original people, when you look at me with my slightly different complexion, slightly different hair texture, I want you to recognize that we are family because we are a universal people. We come in all shades and colors, and we speak all languages because all of it came from the original black man of the planet Earth. All praises due to Allah. All praises due to Allah. So what do we look like today as Latin kings in New York City? As Cubans and those from different ethnic groups in Central America and the Caribbean fighting one another today? And fighting poor black people against poor so-called Latinos for the benefit of who? Who's our enemy today? Who's the one that has us both under their foot today? It's not the Mexican hurting the black man. It's not the black man preventing the Mexican from having justice in Mexico, justice in Central America, a free Puerto Rico, an independent nation for the Boricua people. It's not the black man preventing that. And it's not the Latino preventing you from having justice today in this hour. The same man who robbed us of justice, the same man who robbed us of freedom, the same enemy that took our people and conquered and destroyed them, today has us fighting one another, disgracing the legacy of our God and our people. We should be ashamed today. All praises due to Allah. As young people, as so-called enlightened people, now that God has been present amongst us, that we still fall for the same trick and plan of our open enemy. Looking at one another, fighting over crumbs while the master rules us both and now has us pitted one against the other. Why today? Because he has taught us that we are nothing, but we're in the presence of a man today, a living human being who embodies and carries the love of God for all of our people. So when we hear him as Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, we're not listening to a foreigner who's speaking a strange language that is not our own. We hear the Spirit of God in a man, and if his skin happens to be darker than ours, and his hair happens to be curlier than ours, and his language happens to be different because of a different conqueror and slave master that he came up under, it's all right today. Because today there's a spirit present of truth, and that truth is cutting through the lies that the enemy has set up so that we can never see each other as we truly are, which is family to one another. We are the people of God, and by his grace and will today, and under the direction and guidance of a man who's been blessed to speak the language of the people. So when you see Mexicans saying, I'm with Farrakhan, don't be surprised today. Don't think that God has forgotten about you, black men and women. No, no. It's the opposite effect today. Know that God is sending aid out of his love for you, that you may recognize and take your rightful place as our head. Since we came from you, it is right that in the last hours of this dying world, you be put at the head again. And I would ask my Mexican and Puerto Rican and Latino family, don't reject wisdom and guidance today because you don't think it's part of you. Because you hear the language black today and you see yourself as Latino or Mexican or something else. What is that? Who made you Mexicans? Who made you Puerto Ricans? Who made you and I so-called Latinos today? And who is it helping for us to keep our mentality in that condition? I want to see us change our language because we're not Mexicans. We were here before Mexico started. We're not Puerto Rico because we were here before Puerto Ricans started. We were before Cuba, before Guatemala, before Ecuador, before Chile. Who are we? We are the original people of the planet, and so are you, black man, and we love you, and we will be in unity. For the benefit of all of our people, I only want us to make sure we're under the right guidance and the right word, and you're in the right house of God today, the real house of God, the human being who is manifesting the spirit and the wisdom and the language of God for all of the people of God. I thank you for this time to have just a few moments to share, hopefully, what I've learned from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan for you.
We will soon make a try at converting and uniting all the originals of this Western Hemisphere. A quote from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in a message to the black man.
So my Hispanic brothers, he's Gonzalez, Ramirez, and we are Johnson and Jones. The brother in Haiti, Martinique, and Guadeloupe, he's Francois. Chauncey, Henri. Now, one slave, comment allez-vous aujourd'hui? Another slave, comment stay? Another slave, what's happening, baby? But all of you messed up. And now you're looking at each other with funny eyes. That's that Frenchman talking to me. Who that Spaniard? He ain't no Spanish person.
That's right.
He was conquered by the Spanish. You sure are not no Englishman. You were conquered by the British. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So everybody from Europe contributed in your destruction and in your division.
That's right.
Then they started weaving their sperm in among the women of the West, the indigenous and the black.
Come on.
So now some of us got straight hair. Some of us got curly hair. Some of us got nappy hair. Some of us got no hair. But now we're all looking at each other's strength.
How old is this queen? How old is my beautiful brother with the rings in his ears? And how old is he? Not you personally or you, queen, but how old is your line? How far back does your line go? How old is our brothers who sang for us? How far back does the line go? How old are you, Dick Griffey? How old are we? You can't even find the birth record of the native people of this earth. As far back as you go, no rock will show you your beginning. No star will show you your beginning, because we are from the beginning. And as it was in the beginning, so shall it be at the ending of this world that has pit color against color, people against people, language against language. Ultimately, we have to unite the whole Western Hemisphere from Canada all the way down to the tip of what is called South America. And the only way we can unite the continent is we have to have a vehicle by which to communicate ideas to each other. And if Spanish is that vehicle spoken by most of the people of the Western Hemisphere, then we must learn Spanish in order to communicate our ideas one to the other.
And what he has created for you in the earth is of varied hues. Surely there is a sign in this for a people who are mindful. Holy Quran, chapter 16, verse 13.
So now here you have among our brothers and sisters of the region considered Latin America, you've got from black to high yellow, but not white. Look at my brother's color here. Brother Fabian. He look white, doesn't he? Yes, sir. He's not white. That's right. That's right. He's black. No, see, you got to understand how we use that term. Huh? Look at my man here, Machete. One of the baddest dudes you're going to meet in any part of Los Angeles. He looks white, huh? He ain't white. He's Mexican. I mean, he's black. His beautiful mother here. Stand up, sister. Come on, come on, come on here. Huh? Thank you. If you don't mind, sir, that was a black woman just stood up. My brother here, what's your name? Roberto. Robert. Huh? Roberto is blacker than he know he black. Sergio, black man. You can't look at color today. You know, I'm happy the world has gotten spotted up. You know why? Because it puts you in a better position to tap into a God that is beyond what these eyes see than when you were before. God is as unseen as a thought. You know what scientists say a thought looks like? Said if you could see a thought kind of looks like a current of electricity. Come on with that. When I listened to Brother Sergio and Brother Fabian and Brother Machete and his mother express the different problems that they have with their own people, it was almost humorous to me because it sounded like he was talking about our neighborhood. Now I want you to see how unique Los Angeles is. I can see why he has orchestrated this pitting of one against the other in Los Angeles. He's the minority in this city. There's 3,000,008 or 900,000 people, the second most populated city in the United States. In Chicago, there is a whole section of the city where Mexicans live. There are more Mexicans directly from Mexico, I think, from what I've found in Chicago. New York, there's a section. You've got more Puerto Rican. But everybody has a section. In Detroit, Southwest, they got a section. But in Los Angeles, you all live next door to each other. That's right. That's right. You drive down any street, and you say, what's up? We think in the Midwest and in the East, when you talk about Watts, we think, oh man, that's Blackville. Oh no. No. Statistics say that in Watts, there's more Chicano than black. South Central Los Angeles, hey, now that's black there. Shoot, Crips and Bloods, man. Oh, no. Statistics say that this South Central Los Angeles is 47% Chicano. Well, Compton did.
O mankind, surely we have created you from a male and a female, and made you tribes and families, that you may know each other. Holy Quran, chapter 49, verse 13. When they asked what teachings would he, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, give to the Mexicans, he answered that the Mexicans should be given the same teachings that he gave us. A quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in Closing the Gap.
But my God, we are the most productive people. We produce very rapidly. It's very common to go into the quote-unquote black ghetto and find a young black sister, 13 years old, with a little baby on the hip and one on the way. It's also common to see a little Chicano or Mexican or however black sister with a little baby on the hip at 13 and one on the way. Demographers are watching this increase and they say, whoa.
Go down to Mexico and see the heads of Africans in Mexico, because the root of Mexico is the old civilization, which is an African civilization in the Western Hemisphere. Don't applaud, just think. The enemy comes. He mixes his blood with the indigenous native people and produces different colors. And then he makes some feel we're better than others because our skin is lighter, our hair more curly. Now, the enemy don't have anything for you to do. He lets you go. You don't have a job. But he's bringing our brothers and sisters from Mexico. It isn't that they're just poor. Many of our brothers and sisters from Mexico that are here are poor. And America offers this light, the land of the free, the home of the brave. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Give me, you're tired, you're poor. So the poor see that. Say, well, I'm coming to America. So the brothers and sisters come, but they are being invited by corporate America because they work hard and they work cheaper. And corporate America can use our Latino family to bust up unions and put you out of a job. So you're looking at our Latino families, though that's the enemy. Say, if he wasn't here, he's taking my job. Well, wait a minute, Chief. This is his home. Say, how did America get Texas? How did they get New Mexico? Why is it called New Mexico? Was it once Old Mexico? How did they get Arizona? How did they get California? How did they get parts of Utah and Nevada and Colorado? That was all Mexico at one time. So it's written that they would lose control of their borders. See, justice demands that what was taken from the brother and sister, they ultimately going to have to get it back.
The Native American with the Latino family, you have issues that nobody's going to address. Well, Spanish is not your language, English is not mine, but it's the only language I got. And if you have Spanish, I think I should learn Spanish. I love my brother speaking to you in the native language or in Spanish, not the native language, pardon me. But his father reared him and his brothers and sister in Mexico so that they could learn the culture and the history and the language of the people, because ultimately we have to unite the whole Western Hemisphere.
And of his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your tongues and colors. Surely there are signs in this for the learned. Holy Quran, chapter 30, verse 22.
As your brother, I can say without hesitation how much I love the Native American people. I have no hesitation, no equivocation about my love for you. And it grieves me when I go to Mexico and I see the real native people of this hemisphere suffering in Mexico, in Costa Rica, in Nicaragua, in Guatemala, in Brazil, in Colombia.
O you who believe, when it is said to you, make room in assemblies, make room. Allah will give you ample, and when it is said, rise up, Allah will exalt those of you who believe and those of you who are given knowledge to high ranks. And Allah is aware of what you do. Holy Quran, chapter 58, verse 11. We thank Allah who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, his messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and our divine teacher and warner in our midst today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, for teaching us to accept our own and be ourselves, and for inspiring us to strive for excellence and spread our life-giving teachings to all of our people, wherever they may be, here in the wilderness of North America, throughout the Western Hemisphere, and ultimately the whole planet Earth.
And every time I hear that there are Latino brothers and blacks fighting each other and shedding each other's blood, I grieve, because the enemy of all of us wants us to think we all are so different and make us the enemy of each other to give him a free ride into the 21st century. And we have to say that all of that foolishness must end forever in this century, and we must never carry that ignorance into the 21st century.